Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. This is Jesus Manuel Menagarza. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic wherever you're at. Today we're going to be talking about two types of vehicles that a lot of RVers use. Towed vehicles, the ones we tow behind our gigantic 45 Prevos and Newmars and whatever other kind of vehicles we have that we're going RVing in. A little small tow, they're usually pretty small. And of course we have tow vehicles, usually powerful trucks and SUVs to tow our travel trailers, fifth wheels, pop-ups, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to separate the two. I'm not going to talk about the tow vehicles. Let's put them in a separate category, okay? Let's just talk about tows and vehicles that we use around the home, okay? These are the vehicles that we go to the park at with the kids, the grandkids, with our significant other. You go to the baseball game, the football game, the soccer match, and we take the family, etc., etc., etc. So, smaller vehicles. There is no reason in los Estados Unidos and the United States of America that we don't have, and this is my opinion, based on scientific information and my research, there is no reason why we can't have a $25,000 small vehicle in the United States. That gets about 200 miles of range, which is pretty good for most situations, to go shopping, to go to the Piggly Wiggly, to get our sausages and be it vegetarian or meat sausage, whatever kind of sausage you like. You can get that sausage there. And you can go to the park again. You can go to the movie theater if you want to go to the movie theater, or you can just go, have a good time somewhere nearby, okay? Or you tow it behind the vehicle, your motorhome, your Class C, your Class A, your gigantic motorhome, and there you go, or medium-sized motorhome, and you tow it behind it. Usually small, compact, So why do they make millions of these in China for 15, 20, 30,000 bucks in China? Why do they make so many of them? It's because the government gives these automakers money, billions of dollars, say, hey, we're going to subsidize your battery manufacturing. We're going to support you with your design of motors, bodies, the whole infrastructure, electronics. We're going to help you. All you folks in the auto industry, we're going to give you money. And you're going to build all these great cars, and you're going to sell them around the world because we're going to overproduce these cars. We're going to make not enough for ourselves, but everybody else in the world, because we're generous Chinese people, and we want to be nice to everybody. We want to make these vehicles available to everybody at a relatively affordable price. Very generous of them. So, but in the United States, we live in a different economy. We're a capitalist country. And a lot of our politicians, and this is the part that you have to understand. This is the part you have to understand. For the last 100 years, our politicians are bought and paid for. When I mean bought and paid for, I mean their campaigns get a lot of cash so they can be reelected, so they can go back to those Washington, D.C. or state capitol cocktail parties and live it up, have, all kinds of, shrimp. My God, I'm eating all the shrimp I want. And have all the cocktails and treated like kings. Treated like kings in Washington, D.C., Austin, Texas, Sacramento, wherever they are at, Atlanta, stuff like that. So these politicians are bought and paid for by who? They're bought and paid for by the oil and gas industry. Ted Cruz here in the great state of Texas, he's bought and paid for. He admits it. He loves oil and gas. He thinks we should just keep on drilling, for the rest of our known existence. So this paradigm that we have right now, where the oil and gas industry pretty much controls a lot of our politics and makes sure that we don't pass any legislation that positively affects the production of clean vehicles as compared to internal combustion engines to EVs. They just try to drag our feet. Here's another fact. Okay, number one, the oil and gas lobby controls most of our politicians. Number two is, why aren't these automobile companies building affordable EVs? The Chinese do it. Of course, they're getting the largesse of the government, but why aren't they building anything? You can buy it. The cheapest Tesla goes for around 35, 40,000 before, government, gives you a little bit of cash back. But a lot of these trucks, EVs, go for $100,000, $150,000. Wow. Elon Musk promised us a $35,000, $40,000, Cybertruck. But what did it end up costing us? It ended up, the first edition cost $130,000. That's $100,000 more than what he promised. He's always promising stuff. So, what can you say? So we need a lot of these legacy automakers to, come to bat and build something that's inexpensive. Of course, it's going to take a little bit government intervention. I don't want the government to come in when these companies are failing and flailing and, they're going out of business because all these great Chinese cars are coming to the United States, all these European cars are coming to the United States, and all these great Korean cars are coming to the United States, all these Japanese cars are coming to the United States. And we aren't building EVs because the American legacy automakers are dragging their feet. So what can we do? We got to incentivize where they make smaller cars. Again, we're not asking them to build it right now, the big trucks. Just a small car. Build a small car for 20 grand approximately that can plug into my garage, plug into my carport, plug into the street, and charge relatively fast, and has a modest battery that gets about 200 miles of range and goes 75, 80 miles an hour. That's perfectly fine. Perfect for people commuting on those busy LA freeways. In New Jersey, in Austin, in Fort Worth, DFW. Something small, affordable that everybody can drive. And then you subsidize it to a certain extent, and you even drop down the price even more. It was originally $25,000, now you can buy it for $15,000. How many of you would buy a Toad for 15 grand that gets 200 miles of range, requires very little maintenance, and is of a high quality? How many of you? Raise up your hands. Again, raise your hands. So the United States, our system of government, most of our politicians are bought and paid for. We admit that. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, they're all bought and paid for. But we have to, because of environmental issues, global warming. Florida, wow, they've had so many storms, it's insane. California, fires, mudslides, it's crazy down there. And then, of course, places like Carolinas, flooding, it's horrific. People are dying because of global warming. We can no longer drag our feet. We have to get the government involved to build infrastructure. Everywhere you can plug in, plum, plum, plum. At the shopping center, when you're parked in the street, just plug in, plum, 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 plum. And you get a car, you get plugged into your house, play. Hey, just plug it in there. And you get overnight charge, you get plenty of range to go to your job at the grocery store, at the mall, at the corporation, etc., etc. So that's me talking about our Toads, RV Toads, your car that you have in your garage, parked in front of your house, in front of your apartment complex. Again, make charging ubiquitous. Make charging ubiquitous. We have two alternatives in our lives. If we care about our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, our legacy, are we going to destroy this planet? Are we going to drag our feet and not, create a better environment? I know there's certain technologies right now. I know UC Berkeley just came out with a plan to remove a lot of the carbon from the air, carbon dioxide. That's a great plan, but it's going to take a while to do that. In the meantime, I think our government should build a fantastic infrastructure, encourage people. Hopefully these people won't build an infrastructure that's a piece of shit. actually are conscientious. You know, there's actually people saying, hey, let me check that out, see if it actually works. It don't work. You're not getting paid, sorry. You know, build a vehicle that's actually reliable, not a piece of crap, on about 20 grand, 25,000, maybe even $15,000. Fantastic, fantastic. Create two levels of vehicles. You know, vehicles that are good for under 55 miles an hour and vehicles that go above 55 miles an hour. You know, there's a lot of options out there. There's no reason why. In los Estados Unidos, the great United States of America, people have sent people to the moon. Wow. You know, people that sent, out the first rockets in the mid-60s, the air. Fantastic. Can't we build an affordable, cheap, small, reliable EV and EV charging infrastructure in the United States of America? There is no reason we can't, other than the fact that a lot of politicians are bought and paid for by Exxon, Mobil, Shell, the list goes on. They're bought and paid for. Just ask Ted Cruz, who pays his salary? It's not the government, it's the oil and gas industry. Just saying. Just saying. Thanks for watching my video. This has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave. And again, leave your kind and friendly comments below. Tell me what you think. If you feel the, greenhouse issues, global warming is a hoax. It's a hoax. It's all made up by the media. These 97% of the scientists are wrong. If Albert Einstein told me there was global warming, I wouldn't believe him. If Isaac Newton told me that global warming was real, I wouldn't believe him. If Leonardo da Vinci told me that there's global warming, I wouldn't believe him because they're idiots. I believe my politicians, my right-wing, conservative, bought and paid for politicians are right. Thank you very much. Check out my footer website specific to this channel, rvta.myportfolio.com. And you can check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMM Garza. Of course, you can become a member of this channel. Again, this has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Don't forget to ring the bell for future notifications. Gracias. Adios.